How about that, Broncos country? The Denver Broncos defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 22-19 on a walk-off field goal. They prove that they do belong. The Broncos are legit Super Bowl contenders. And barring something extremely unforeseen, they're probably going to be AFC West champions. I can tell you one thing, Kansas City's not winning the division this year. Any chance they had went out the window after losing this game. Kansas City did not play well. They played like we've seen the Denver Broncos play these past few games, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Kansas City's offense was not good in this game. Vance Joseph's defense shut them down. They were really, really bad in the red zone once again. They were also really, really bad in between the 20s. They committed a lot of penalties. They had a lot of negative plays. There would have been more turnovers if there weren't some questionable penalties that were called against the Denver Broncos defense, but overall, the Broncos defense held strong this entire game. Their special teams was awesome. Getting Marvin Mims back was huge in the return game. He had that massive return at the beginning of the game. Will Lutz, of course, nailing the game-winning field goal. Denver wasn't starting drives deep in their own territory, which was huge. This Broncos team played complimentary football for all four quarters. That's something that we've seldom seen from this team this year. The Broncos played in all four quarters like they play in the fourth quarter. And there were some points where, really off some bad referee calls, it looked like the Chiefs were going to get back into this game. There was one point where they took a 19-16 lead, but Denver didn't let them get back into it completely. Denver was able to stay in the game and make enough plays to overcome any mistakes that they made and any negative plays that the referees caused. Now, Denver sits at the top. Let's go ahead and bring in the NFL standings here. If things ended today, your Denver Broncos would be the number one seed in the AFC. They've got a 96% chance to make the playoffs. Barring an epic collapse, Denver is going to the playoffs. At 9-2, they've also clinched their second winning season in a row after having multiple consecutive losing seasons from 2017 to 2023. I swear to God, man, it feels so good. It really does. It just hits different knowing that this team can beat good teams. They've knocked off the defending AFC champions and the defending NFC champions this year. New England Patriots are 9-2 as well, but by virtue of tiebreakers, they are the number 2 seed. Denver is number 1. Indianapolis, they had a bye this week. They are 8-2. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 6-4. They're the number 4 seed right now. They got a win today against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then your 3 wildcard teams would be the Buffalo Bills, who sit at 7-3. The Chargers, who dropped a game today against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even if Denver hadn't won this game, they still would have maintained their lead in the AFC West. And then those Jaguars are the 7th seed now at 6-4. The Denver Broncos have a 2-game lead over the Chargers in the AFC West, and they've got a 4-game lead on the Kansas City Chiefs, plus a head-to-head tiebreaker. The Kansas City Chiefs currently sit as the 9th seed on the outside looking in at 5-5. Like I said, the Chiefs are probably going to need help in order to get into the playoffs this year. This Broncos team knocked them off. Oh my God, man. I didn't think that we would see the day. I really didn't in the Patrick Mahomes era, but you knew at some point this Chiefs team was going to fall off. They couldn't hold this dynasty forever. It's not like they're Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots. This Broncos team, this roster was constructed to beat this Chiefs team. This Broncos defense was constructed to slow down Patrick Mahomes and company, and they were able to do that without their best player on that side of the ball in Pat Surtain. And the Broncos were able to do it without their best running back on the other side of the ball. They're probably their best offensive player to this point this season in J.K. Dobbins. Bo Nix stepping up was humongous in that area. Again, I'm going to talk about Bo Nix in a separate video, but That was a huge factor in this game, but just the Broncos playing complementary football for all 4 quarters, that is the biggest storyline that we can take away from this one. They benefited greatly from the mini bye. Now they head into their actual bye, and they've got several winnable games coming off of it. Let's go ahead and bring those in now. So, after winning 8 games in a row and going into their bye, they play the Washington Commanders Sunday Night Football still as of right now on November 30th. But I will say there is potential that this game gets flexed out of Sunday Night Football. The Commanders just dropped another game in Spain to the Dolphins. They're now 3-8, and the last time they were on Sunday Night Football a few weeks ago against the Seahawks, they dropped a big stinker. The league might not want the Commanders on Sunday Night Football again, so it's possible that this game gets flexed out of Sunday Night Football. If it does, one of these other games might end up being flexed into prime time for the Broncos, because obviously it's not the Broncos' fault if they get flexed out. Maybe this Green Bay game, possibly the Chargers game. Maybe one of those two ends up getting flexed into Sunday Night Football, depending on what the standings and the ramifications are heading into this Chargers game. I could see a scenario where Denver rips off 4 or 5 more wins in a row. That game at Washington, Denver should play well and beat them. At the Raiders, obviously they played down to the Raiders last time they played them, but this time it's not going to be on a short week. They'll have a full week of preparation, and I expect Denver to go in, dominate Vegas, and get the brooms out against the Raiders. Then you've got Green Bay here in Denver. The Green Bay Packers are a really frustrating team to watch. You don't know which version of them is going to show up any given week. If the good Packers show up, it's going to be a really tough game for the Broncos, but if the bad Packers show up, then I could see Denver winning this one easily. And it's kind of the same thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Very similar to Green Bay. They have good days and they have bad days. Today was one of their good days, but they've had some bad days more recently, so we will see which version of the Jacksonville Jaguars shows up. This game against Kansas City, even if Kansas City doesn't have much to play for in this one, and I imagine they'll still be alive by this point in time, it's going to be a tough game. They're going to be out for revenge. It's at Arrowhead, so Denver might drop that game. Hopefully, we're resting starters in this Chargers game, and we already have the number 1 seed locked up, and we're good to go. We don't have to play our starters in this one. That would obviously be the most ideal scenario for the Denver Broncos, but they control their own destiny right now, and I see a very clear path for the Denver Broncos to get the number 1 seed. So, awesome game, awesome night, Broncos country. And we can sit here and celebrate because our Denver Broncos are 9-2. Alright guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and just supporting me in general. Alright guys, and until next time, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.